Welcome everyone to the adventures of the world of interiors. This week's subject on interior design is the mid-century modern design, okay? This is an amazing part of interior design style that a lot of interior nerds or maybe people that are really passionate about interior design, especially in different eras of history, will like. So of course, as always, my name's Tom and this is Designing Tomasic. Thanks for coming to my page. Please like, subscribe, and share. We are continuing this series right now as we go through this subject, which is the mid-century modern design. Now, mid-century, like for example, I'm wearing a Levi's jacket I got about a couple decades ago, and it's an original Levi's, okay? So a lot of people wore these kind of jackets around that time, and it's nice and worn, and it's just comfy. So I really love it, but I wanted to wear it today because it kind of reflects that time period where you kind of went from a conservative look in fashion to really starting to get into design, and the younger people, the baby boomers, started really expressing themselves by wearing denim and blue jeans and leather jackets with white shirts and grease back hair and things like that. So that's kind of the era you're starting with, and then you're going into the mid-century modern design at that time in the world. So when people think of modern, mid-century modern design, they think of, Falling Water, they think of Mad Men. That style of sophistication shows a lot of form, bold colors, some earthy tones, bringing in some nature too. You'll see all those elements with mid-century modern design. You'll see glass used a lot. You'll see wood, those famous tulip-shaped chairs, and in everything mid-century modern design, especially furniture, you'll see a lot of tapered wooden legs, okay? So I'm gonna give you some examples as always, and just kind of show you kind of what that looks like. So this first picture here is of a mid-century modern living room. Now notice the bold colors. You'll see a lot of yellows at this time period. You'll see a lot of greens as well. If you kind of think of it, I'm aging myself here, but if you watched the Brady Bunch when you were little, or when you were older, if you watch it now, think of that era when you think of mid-century modern design, okay? So you'll see a lot of tapered legs on the furniture, as well as some natural lighting installations. But even the lamp, as you can see here, has a very long tapered base to it. And these were very popular at that time. So that is your very clean, warm wooded buffet or cabinet, some people call. And even the artwork there was kind of pretty abstract at that time, but you saw little elements of, earthy tones coming in with bold colors, even cabinetry, especially in kitchens and appliances. They were all kind of covered to make them look like wood. A lot of laminate used at that time period too. So if you're a kid who grew up in the 60s and 70s, you'll recognize a lot of these styles, okay? But you could still achieve this look today in your home if this is what you really like, okay? I know in Pennsylvania, for example, we have a historic home called Falling Water, and I'm just going to give you an assignment today to go look that up and the history behind it and the architecture, and I'll show you a little bit of it today. But look at this room here, isn't it gorgeous? You have the tapered legs, very clean, straight lines as well, you'll notice. Okay, even the lamps are kind of, tubular, very simple, sleek, very stylish. The mid-century modern design, has a sleek look. And it really stands the test of time with its unique blend of like form, function, finesse, okay? So this is kind of what you're looking at with a mid-century modern design, okay? The next one we're gonna look at is a kitchen. Okay, so this is a dining room. Look very closely. Look at those chairs. That tulip-shaped kind of chair, you'll see a lot of that in IKEA and a lot of those kind of designs for those kind of, big box stores. that had a huge insurgence around the early 2000s with more of like a modern flair. But you'll see the lovely tulip-shaped chairs with the really simple metal legs. You'll see a lot of metal used too in a mid-century modern design. But again, you see that resurgence of the warm wood colors. These tables were very popular at that time too. No matter if it was an end table or dining room table, some of them were metal, some of them were brass, some of them were plastic, but you have this really beautiful rounded out base that is really unique to that time period. Rather it be a rectangular table or a circular one like this one, you can achieve that look very simply. You could find a ton of these kind of style chairs, tables in many, many, many different places, okay? So that's an example of a mid-century dining room, okay? You could kind of keep it pretty simple, but you see there's pops of color. It's just beautiful, okay? Now, so far as furniture, look at this. I love this color. Teal was used a lot during this time period as well, but as you can see, once again, you have that tapered brown leg coming down. You have this bold pop of color, very minimal, sleek design on this sofa chaise. And this is what you would see at that time frame. And even today, as this is something we actually carry. Okay, this is an example of a dining room. This is something else we carry. So these are things that you could actually get today. This is a rectangular dining set there. Again, you have the mid-century modern design flair with the legs, the tapered legs, and a nice pop of color. Again, you have that nice gold warm, almost like a turmeric color, used a lot. Now in this room, they kind of updated it with a little bit of an abstract painting, also more of a tribal, really simple geometric print rug. But as you can see, you know, the focus is right there on the dining set, okay? Very beautiful. You could achieve this look no matter if it's a 12-seat table or even a 2-seater. So it doesn't matter what kind of, you know, home you have, you could still achieve this look size-wise with a dining room. You're just going to go from how many seats you can actually carry. Now the general rule for dining is you want to stay at least a couple feet from each wall or any kind of barrier where, you know, pushing a chair out would kind of cause an issue. So that's a general rule for dining. We'll go more into that in the future. All right, the next example here is of a bed. Look at this beautiful mid-century bedroom bed frame. This is for a queen size. And notice the nice tapered leg, but this is upholstered, very simple look. It's not a bold pop of color, but it kind of has that nice clean line mid-century look, and we carry that as well, okay? Now, this is what I wanted to tell you about. This is Falling Water. This is in Pennsylvania, okay? It's a very, very famous house. And so you're gonna see things like the Eames lounge chair, the Saarinen tulip chair, the Noguchi coffee tables are a staple of the mid-century design. They have that timeless appeal. It's almost like a retro look, okay? This house is very famous. The architect, you know, pretty much designed and built this, and you can actually go and visit this. What's really cool about it is, growing up in this area, you always hear about it. And it is actually at, you know, near the Appalachian Mountains, closer to where my mother grew up, and my grandparents built a house up there at the lower part of the mountains, down over the hill past Laurel Caverns. This is in that area, so it's very exciting. Now, here you have a mid-century modern living room, and this is what's in that house. So as you can see, you're gonna see all those colors, bright oranges, bright yellows, nice clean lines. You have furry, fluffy rugs. You have those really nice, simple coffee tables. And of course, everything is very simple and modern looking, but it has that retro flair, which is mid-century. Okay, you've seen a lot of houses at that time period in the 50s and 60s. A lot of people built ranch houses because they were easier to build, but also it gave this look. You'll see, you know, full walls that were windows. That kind of gives you, you know, a little tip on, you know, when that house was built. Sometimes it will give you that flair. Okay, some of them were A-frames, some of them were straight like this, but you had a lot of natural elements coming into the mid-century design. This is an example of how cool. Now this was a really cool feature. You know, the steps on the back of the house go down actually to a creek that runs down through the house, and I'm sure that's probably why it's called Falling Water. The person who designed this house and lived there, and there was many different things that went on at this house, but it's pretty much a historic landmark, I believe. And why wouldn't it be? But again, you see those clean lines off the back porch there. And that is just a really beautiful thing to go from inside with interior design, you know, in that really nice mid-century modern warm house with natural lighting coming in, and then being able to go down your steps right into a creek. I mean, how cool is that? So again, mid-century modern design, you want to think of the Brady Bunch. You want to think of Mad Men, you know, whiskey glasses and glass in general, warm wood, pops of color, which were usually like gold tones and green and pops of teal and things like that. But you can achieve this look in your home. Just start out figuring out, you know, is this going to be a room that you're going to have in all view of the home? If so, you want to make sure all the rooms in the home kind of blend well with that room as well. That room can be a focal room and stand out in the open floor plan, but you really want the rest of the house to go with it style-wise. Now, once you get into other bedrooms, other rooms in the home that are close, you can get creative with that and do other styles, but usually the role of interior design is if you have an open floor plan, you kind of want the styles to kind of move really well together, especially with the mid-century modern design. This is the style that my parents grew up with, and this was famous around that time. And as they grew up, and once the 80s kind of rushed in, then you came into things like blushes and greens and pinks and Tiffany lamps. So this era kind of went away at that point. The 80s was a huge change in design, especially in interior design. Thank you for coming on this adventure again with me in the adventure of the world of interiors. This is the series that I'm continuing. I told you I got my voice back. Allergy season seems to be doing better with me. And as you can see behind me, we have mid-century design pieces too. Really beautiful accent mirrors, lamps. This whole sectional here is a mid-century modern design too. So it is out there. You can achieve it. And as we go on to the next castings, you'll see a lot of different styles of interior design that are probably the most popular designs in the world. That's the ones that I'm focusing on. So have a beautiful week. Spring is in full effect. I hope wherever you are, you're not, you know, succumb to allergies, but you can achieve this timeless look of interior design. And until next time, please like and subscribe and share. And I hope you enjoy the page, and we'll see you then. Bye.